Hey everyone, episode 15, Still Up Sports. We're talking Bo Nix. We're recapping the 4th of July weekend, and we're talking about what our plans are for this weekend. Besides that, the weekend after, we're getting back into 24-hour streams, guys. All that and much more coming up in 60 seconds, guys. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Cody Chapa. This is episode 15 of Still Up Sports. I hope you guys had a wonderful 4th of July weekend. I had a great, wonderful 4th of July weekend. I went out, I hit up my first professional soccer game ever. It was fun. We lost 2-1, but it was just a great night for soccer. Beautiful time. Maybe I'll show you a little bit of the pictures and stuff. I still have to make a good post about it, but maybe we'll look into it. Besides that, guys, we're gonna have a fun show. We're gonna talk Bo Nix for a whole hour. Not this first hour, that second hour. This first hour, we're recapping our plans for everything we did this weekend, and then everything we're going to do this upcoming weekend, because we will be off Saturday, Sunday, Monday for from work. So then I'm going to be able to go cover day 3 of the SAC Summit. I'm only available to cover day 3, and I'm going to try to do my best from where I can get. And even then, I'm going to be roaming around the whole night, at least as much as I can. And because there's going to be an after party at the Marquee, and I'm going to try to see if maybe I can catch a guy for, question or a picture of a guy, just so you guys see that I'm out there trying to, hustle, and maybe I get an interview with someone, because there's a lot of guys walking around. There's a lot of people walking around the strip. So I might just be walking around in casinos. I don't gamble, but I will be popping around in these casinos, walking around, looking at around, because you never know who you'll see walking around. And if I could snag an interview or just like a cool question or something, or even just a picture with one of these guys, that'd be kind of cool. Besides that, we're going to be covering International Fight Week this weekend also. So we're going to have day 3 of the SAC Summit while working our way in. And we're going to do our best. We're going to try to get into the weigh-in and the press conference, at least for the fight. I'm not going to the fight, guys. I can't go to a Conor McGregor fight. I got a Denver trip that I'm focused on. I can't do a Conor McGregor fight, guys. Conor McGregor fight is crazy. Also, guys, we're going to do a Goonsville opening. I'm not wearing Goonsville right now because I'm going to be wearing my new hat that's in there. And I'm going to show you that out in a second, guys. But I just hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. If you're here or if you're watching, let me know. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. This is Still Up Sports. I'm your host, Cody Chapa. We normalize late night sports talk. We talk about the Broncos, but of course, we work our way into other topics. We talk about other, things going on in sports, guys. There's so many things going on, especially during the off season. With some great combat sports. We have the World Cup happening. U.S. just went down to Belgium today. That happened. So down goes the USA. But either way, it was a great season. Still great watch. At least this year, this has been fun. This whole World Cup experience has been fun for a lot of people, especially me, just to see the interactions with all these foreigners coming to the U.S., having a great time. That means a lot to see them at least having a good time. So yeah, we're going to do some fun stuff for this first hour. And then also, guys, I have something we're going to begin, and we're starting with our player like deep dives. We're going to be focused on players and maybe personnel, probably personnel too. So players and personnel, we're going to make sure that they all get their own, little hour on each one of these shows, and we're going to focus on that person individually. And of course, we're going to start with Bo Nix today. But Bo Nix is that talk's not going to be in this first hour. We're going to recap our soccer game. We're going to open some Goonsville on camera. Also, I'll make sure I set up a phone up over here just so we can get that camera view too. But, we're going to open up our package from Goonsville. You can see the Cats football here. We do not have a cat on screen yet. We're waiting on that. Besides that, guys, I know I've shown you it before. Let me see. I just want you to check us out, guys. We're over here sitting at 104 on YouTube. Go check us out. Let's go straight to the analytics and open up our live subscriber count. We're at 104, guys. Feel free to go like, comment, subscribe. Everything helps. In this journey of normalizing late night sports talk, it's all something that only happens without the support of you guys. And without the viewers, without the help, it really helps. So go check it out. Just go hit a like, go comment, go subscribe, go engage on a post. There's always something fun going on over here. I made sure to drop this earlier. I think this is a nice little lead into part of what we're going to talk about today, guys. And that's because I think Bo Nix is Superman, and we're going to compare these members of personnel and stuff like this. I think we're just going to, we're going to compare them to people from like comics or superheroes and stuff. So Bo Nix is going to be Superman, and we're going to get into why Bo Nix is Superman. There's some other players on this team that will make like great Batmans and Robins. I think there's some great players on this team that will make maybe a great Iron Man or there's maybe a great Doctor Doom. There's some great characters out there that match these players, and some of these players, I think, of what they're going to bring and what they're going to do. There's an Incredible Hulk on defense for sure, or offense. Who is it going to be? Probably one of those big boys on the trenches. We'll get there at one point. That might be a later show or a show after that. So. Yeah, guys, I just want you to go check us out on YouTube, guys. We're at 104. Let's try to hit 105, 106 this week. It would be pretty cool to boost ourselves up and keep going. We're on a hunt for 500 as we reach the beginning or the end. I would love to hit 500 before the season even starts, guys, but that might be a tall task. That's why we're going to do a few more 24-hour streams, and we're going to try to really ramp up and get some extra attention in the end, because no one's doing those 24-hour streams, and we're going to do them again. We're going to do them again, and we're just going to make sure that, we're going to keep proving that we are still up, that we are the reliable, the exclusive, only source for late night sports talk, not just Denver Broncos, but late night sports talk. It's Denver Broncos based, but you bring it to us and we address whatever you want, guys. You can see this like orange floating little background, black and orange background. That's going to change. We got a background being made by our amazing woman who's done our graphics and our editing, not our editing, just graphics and our animations. That intro video you saw, that's starting soon, animation, that was all her. So we will be, having a new background. So when we put there. So it's going to be neat. But yeah, go check us out on YouTube. We're also on other platforms, guys. We're streaming live on X right now. Go check us out. Here we are. Yep, there we are right there. Go check us out. We're at 107. Go feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Everything helps, guys. I'd love to engage with you guys. You guys are very fun to engage with. It's fun to talk with you. I love talking to you guys. All right, guys. Instagram. We are on Instagram, 114 subs. You can see, we made sure to, collab and work with Slanted Uptown on that post right there. Got nothing but love for our fellow creators out there. So any way we can help our fellow creators, we do what we can, because they've all been very helpful and kind to us. So we do whatever we can to help and support them, guys. Thank you guys for popping in and supporting. So, go check us out on Instagram. We're up there. And then we're on TikTok too. We're at 27 followers, guys. Feel free to go get in there. We're working for 100 on TikTok. That would be a big goal for us because we're about to start. This next stream will be on TikTok, not this one, just next one. I've said that a few streams in a row, but that's just because there's been a lot on my plate, and just having this weekend to actually take a break and reset was very needed because it's nothing but up here for business for me. Because even though this next weekend coming up, even though we're not doing a 24-hour stream on the weekend, we're going to be busy walking around doing a lot. And I hate being on the strip as a local, and it's going to force me to be out there on the strip walking around doing some stuff. It's going to be fun, but that's not my area I like to hang out on as a local here. But by doing that, it's going to allow me to try to get some content. But we're going to be doing our next stream. That's going to be on YouTube as well. Right now, it's just YouTube and X right now. We'll be on TikTok as well next time, guys. So go check it out. Go follow on TikTok if you have it. Again, we're at 104. So yeah, we're trying to boost ourselves up on YouTube. Chase 500 subs. This off season has been our red shirt off season, as we've been not doing any 53 man roster projections, not doing any mock drafts, none of that stuff. So we've just been doing that, guys. We're not doing that stuff. We're just kind of doing what we can with the production and learning how to just run everything and run a basic show. If I can manage some of this production stuff before the season starts, that goes a long way, especially in terms of making sure I have a cleaner production and cleaner production value. That's why we're going to get a nice little background, so you don't see this orange wavy thing behind us. You're going to see a nice little cool background back there. She's making it right now. She's on mock draft. Her second draft of it right now. So we'll see how that goes. I'm excited for it though. Yeah, we are still up, guys. Again, Still Up Sports is only for the late night fan, the fan that's staying up late night. Whether this is the off season, so you could be out partying and you just want to talk Broncos. Drop a comment, question. We got some fun stuff going on. We got some fun questions that we're going to address. We're going to spend a whole hour on Bo Nix in our second hour of the show. This first hour of the show, we're going to recap our off season. We're going to recap what we're going to be doing with this package. We're going to talk about our first professional soccer game. Awesome. We'll get into a little bit of that, and then we're going to jump into this week's plans in particular, because we are going to still do some streams this weekend. They just may be very weird timing, how all this stuff works. We'll see how it goes, because I'm trying to crank out some shorts and some videos, and that's been what I've been really focused on, is learning thumbnails and trying to start actually putting out some good videos for you guys. So then I'm not just doing this, but if I make videos, guys, they're going to air on the stream first, and then they will show up after. So that's what I would do. All right, guys. So we're going to talk about, 4th of July. I hope you guys had a great 4th of July. I hope that you guys stayed safe. I had fun, this 4th of July. I went out and saw my first soccer game. Never been to my first professional soccer game. And it was nice. I got a really good seat, guys. And so I got Ticketmaster on my phone. I got SeatGeek now on there because of that. But SeatGeek was able to get me a good seat. It was like a $52 ticket that normally runs like 69 up to 82-ish. The same ticket was going for 82 after I bought mine, but I got it for $52, and it was like all you can eat, food, drink, alcohol, all that stuff. That was pretty fun. And then I did end up getting me a lights hat, because I do have a little collection of hats from all the sports teams that I go watch. If I ever go watch a sports team, I'm going to make sure I can snag a hat from it, just so I can add it to the collection, because the hat is the memory from showing up there and reminding you that you were there. Yeah, guys, if you see this, we're going to open this. I ordered 2 things from Goonsville, guys. And while you're here, this is a good time. Let's go pop over down to Goonsville. I'm not wearing it right now because I'm going to open this up in a second. And I'm going to wear my new Goonsville hat. But I have a lot of Goonsville, guys. Goonsville is awesome, though, because Petros is awesome. Goonsville is awesome. Goons got goons. It's all about supporting each other and owning each other's craft. Owning your craft. You really want to support each other. And Goonsville's awesome. You never know who's going to be rocking the Goonsville, man. That Perseverance line right here is so sick. I've been really thinking about getting a second one of these Perseverance hoodies, just because the one I have, I might make a running hoodie. Because sometimes I get doubles of these just so I can. I'm going to get doubles of these just so I can have one running, one nice one. Just because I got one hat. It is very dirty, guys. That is my running hat. It's my Goonsville running hat. Yeah, go check out Goonsville, guys. You never know who's going to be rocking the Goonsville. Yeah, the Perseverance line's cool. Petros is awesome. Look at all these awesome people. Warren Sapp. You never know who's going to be rocking it. Podcasters, combat sports athletes, motocross athletes. There's so many cool people that are rocking Goonsville, even podcasters like us. And see, this is the hat right here. That's the one that's in this box that I ordered. I made sure that I get it. That's the one I wanted. So feel free, guys. Go check out Goonsville. I'm going to pull this down because he does have 10% right there. You see it right here. He has 10%, guys, right there. You go check that out. You can go snag some pretty cool stuff. I mean, look at this catalog. I love Goonsville. It makes me feel clean, super fresh wherever I'm going. There's great shirts, stuff. I got me a shirt. I got me a shirt and a hat. He said he was going to throw something in there. There sounds like there's something different in there too. So we'll see. But Petros knows that we got nothing but love for him over here. We got nothing but love for Goonsville. Goonsville gets free ads. I've already said that, guys. I met Petros before I created this idea of Still Up Sports, and seeing his hustle really is a big inspiration, just to remind me to keep pushing this, thing that I'm passionate about. Because to see how he pushes his thing that he's passionate about, that's awesome. It's incredible. You got to really want what you want, guys, and you got to kind of take it and go after it. And that's why we're Still Up Sports. We seize it. That's why we seized that 24-hour stream twice, and we're going to do it again. And we're going to make it look like it's easy, even though it's not easy. It gets very tiring those final few hours. It sucks. But if you do it right with proper hydration, proper sleep before, guys, all of it helps. Absolutely. Goons got goons. That's all we got. That's all we're doing, guys. Right there. You see my comment right there. Amazing company with the best owner. Absolutely. Goonsville's out there killing it every day. If you're walking around in Denver, chances are you're going to bump into someone wearing the Goonsville, guys. You just can't go wrong with it. I'm probably going to get me a second Perseverance hoodie just so I can turn the one I have right now into a running one. Maybe down the line, I'll be at the point where I have enough Goonsville to wear. That's all I have to wear. Besides my Broncos themed stuff, like you're seeing me rep a Bo Nix, Broncos, t-shirt. I'm repping the Broncos still always, guys. I'm wearing the new Lights hat just so I could show it off, and then we're going to replace it with this Goonsville hat that we're going to put on in a second, guys. I do have a Red Bull right here. And yeah, guys, so there is a Greek festival coming up here in Vegas. I'm hoping Petros can pop by in Vegas, even if it's for a day or two. And then if not, either way, I'm going. But I would love if he shows up, because if he shows up, he can walk me through his whole culture, all the food, all the, all that stuff. If not, I would love to have my first, I think it's Ozu or something like that. The alcohol. I'd love to have some of my first Greek alcohol, with him, my first Greek drink with him. But we got nothing but love for Petros and for Goonsville, guys. Their family. I met his dad, met him back in Denver. I was at the DMVR bar. I was checking out the studio and watching, the Broncos post-game show live, post-game reaction show, live. And then I came back down and I just saw, them talking, and we all just hit it off. And Petros is awesome. So I've already said Goonsville gets free ads because, his drive is truly inspiring. Seeing what he does every day for Goonsville inspires me to keep going. So anytime I can show you Goonsville, guys, anytime I show you guys some Goonsville, I do it. And that's why we're going to open this up right now. That's what we'll do. Yes, guys. So we will get into Bo Nix. We're going to get into Bo Nix, and with every one of these player and personnel deep dives, they're going to get a superhero or someone from the superhero, like a comics. This might be Marvel, DC, whatever. It's going to be someone and they're gonna get someone affiliated with them. And Bo Nix is your Superman, guys. You know, if you know Smallville, that song is in my head, and that's because Bo Nix will save us, guys. You know, just let his warm hands, you know, break right through. Let him save you. You know, Bo Nix will save us. And yeah, let me get a knife. Let me get my box cutter. I got enough knives in this room. You know, I own enough, you know, antiques and crap like that. I got something to open this. So let me go grab something. Let's see. All right. All right, guys. You don't get to see any of my special collection, but you know, we got this little one. We're gonna open this Goonsville up, and we're gonna check it out. I did say we would open up the Goonsville live on a stream, and we're gonna get Petros back on. He showed up on the 24-hour stream like a true goon, you know, a true legend. It's just the internet was not working with us that day. All right, yeah, I see it. Oh, this looks great. My guy, bro, you are too kind, man. I freaking see you, bro. You're too cool. You know, Petros, you're too awesome, man. You know how to really, you know, take good care of me, bro. You know, he hooked it up with the stickers. He hooked up with some great stickers. You know, that's awesome. He knows that they're going to get used, and he's going to get his attention and their love. When I do this, guys, I don't ever expect anything from him. He knows that I will pay full price for anything, like I always do, unless you know, he ever cuts me a deal, and that's all cool. But you know, I paid full price for, you know, these just because you know, I wanted to show you guys that you can do it too. I didn't even use the 10%. You guys can use that 10%. But you know, I'm going to take off this Lights FC hat, which is great, but we are going to put on the Goonsville hat. Look at this. That looks clean, guys. Let me just throw it on. Yeah, guys, see, Goonsville gets free ads because, again, I'm inspired every day by Petros, and that helps keep me going. And he can even vouch for the fact that, you know, I never once talked about Still Up when I was there, and I never thought about it when I was there. You guys can go check the date on the YouTube channel, and it was after my trip to Denver, after I met Petros. And honestly, Denver was a big, you know, wake-up call on telling me that I need to do something. I need to chase something, and I need to not just be complacent and focused on just working and paying bills. I need to also work, pay bills, but also chase something that I want, guys. And Still Up is something that means a lot to me. And Still Up Sports in Goonsville, man, we're gonna. This ain't the begin. This is just the beginning. We're gonna be doing some cool stuff down the line, man. But Petros, I can tell you really took care of me, bro, and I appreciate you. Yeah. So he always sends the notes with anyone that buys some Goonsville. You should know, man. It's you make the screen bigger so we can see Goonsville better. Yeah, I'll make it bigger. We will. Let's see. Here, guys. We're gonna pop the Goonsville thing back open, the website back open. We're just gonna take a look real quick, guys, because anyone that knows Petros, you know, he always sends a note. I have all my notes from you, Petros. They're right here. Let me grab them. But like, I have every single note, bro. Going back to my first order, bro. So this is the one from you right now. I'll read it in a second. But like, look, I got all of them, bro. I got like at least, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of these already. So now I got another. But that's just because I keep my notes. I'm real sentimental like that, guys. I keep my notes and my letters and stuff. That's why if I ever get to the point where I can do fan mail, I'll damn near cry with every letter. All right. But yeah, he said, Cody, you know, beyond appreciate you. You know, family, Opa. Absolutely, man. We got nothing but love for Goonsville. I appreciate him. So this was the other part of our order, guys. So we ordered this hat and we ordered this amazing shirt. Take a look at this shirt. Let's flip it up because I need shirts, man. And this man knows I need shirts. And I was gonna place another order soon. He knows that I need shirts. This is that Greek, that T-shirt that I was showing you guys. The man knows I need shirts, and he really took care of me. So I appreciate you. This shirt's amazing, man. I just might have to, take a 2-minute intermission just so I can throw on one of these new outfits. I just might, dude. I just might. But that's just because you're so cool. Petros, you're so awesome. I know you're not in here right now, and I wish you were, so you could see this right now, bro. I gotta jump over onto my phone just for like half a second so I can make sure that this stream is also showing, at least because I made a post on Instagram and I want you to check this out because I appreciate you like a brother, man. But you did so cool by me by helping me out right here, man. You know what I need because here in Vegas it is so hot, guys. I love my Goonsville hoodies, but we have to crank the AC down. Pretty cold. Sometimes, well, not like that, but we keep it at like 70. Sometimes I need it at like 68, 69. But yeah, look at this awesome Greek shirt right here, man. I love it. So we got that one right there, but he really took care of me on here, guys, because he didn't have to do that. And I'm going to tell him, that he didn't have to do that. That's super cool. So he hooked it up, guys. He gave me 2 shirts, and I don't do this because I don't expect this. He knows this, but look at that, guys. I need shirts in this temperature out here, guys. That's why at times recently you have seen me wearing more shirts on stream just because I need to it's hot out here. Even at this time of night, guys, it is like 70 degrees. Not 70 degrees. It's like 100 and like something like that. Let me check. It stays late till like midnight. Okay, it's 95 right now, 95, 94. But my point is we've had times where around midnight, 1 a.m., it is still like 104, 105 at times. So it can get pretty hot out here. And I love my hoodies. I wish I lived somewhere with seasons. This is why I hope in the next year or two I can hopefully make the move out to Colorado, somewhere out there in Denver or maybe Colorado Springs or Boulder or something like that, just so I can be closer, one, for the channel to help grow it, but two, I miss seasons, and I loved Denver, man. I love Colorado, but yeah, I mean, Petros, you took care of us, bro. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. You threw in another one. This is the big one, guys. I think I'm fully prepped for the Greek festival because he threw in that one as well. He threw in 2 shirts. He didn't have to. And he did. So, Petros from me is Still Up Sports, especially, me, my mom, family, you are family, bro. Thank you so much to Goonsville for supporting, Goonsville doesn't have to, do that because I've already said Goonsville gets free ads. If he wanted me to not do ads, I would do it. I would not do ads if he didn't ask me to. And I never really asked him for permission to do ads. I just told him I'm going to give you a free shout out. I created a merch corner right here for you. Just because I want you to see, how much, how much Petros puts into like the effort and the drive he has for Goonsville truly does motivate me. Because I hope one day that I'm really excited to try to do a collab with him one day, but I hope that we just normalize something big with this idea of late night sports talk, guys. And Petros, you really took care of us on here. You gave us 2 shirts. You know that I needed the shirts bad, and you really took care of me, bro. Because I got my green, my my St. Patrick's Day shirt. I love it. But yeah, I love my St. Patrick's Day Goonsville guys, but I can only wear it so much because it's only one shirt. And now, just with the 2 he gave me on top of the one that I just purchased, because I bought this hat, guys. I bought this one. I paid full price. I wasn't going to not pay full price. I try to pay full price. So sometimes he gives us deals, and it just means the world when he does, because he knows that we got a lot going on, and we're planning for Denver and all that. And I actually just went down the part-time, so I was going to place another order for some shirts. He knew I wanted some shirts, but that's because I just need shirts, guys. It's too hot to wear hoodies all the time. Like I got this cold AC vent, and during the 24-hour stream, those hoodies come in clutch because it gets cold in this room. when you sit here for long enough, and that's when those hoodies come in clutch. But I just might as well swap into one of these shirts and take once we hit the hour mark, I'll take a quick like 5 minute or less intermission just so I can swap into some of this new Goonsville because man, I'm just incredibly grateful, man. I hope Petros saw this, and if he does, I'm going to go back and I'm going to clip this. I've talked about clipping things before, guys, and I just never have. I'm going to clip this show. This is going to be our first show. We go back in and we're going to severely like clip some stuff up. So this whole Goonsville reaction, we're going to turn into probably a video. Yeah, we'll clip it and turn it into a whole video. Just to show our appreciation to Goonsville. And then we'll make sure we get the man on the show because I feel incredibly bad that the internet cut out because he was my favorite. I loved all my guests that I had on the show, guys. But Petros was the one I've been excited for since the beginning. I wanted him to be the very first guest. And, you know, Mike from Mile High Monsters got to be our first guest, which is incredible. We still have not had an actual legitimate late night guest. We have not had a guest that came on and was legitimate. Oh, here, guys, I haven't even touched the soundboard here. Let's give a round of applause to Petros and Goonsville. Man, I can't even just say how much I appreciate you, Petros. Man, you're too kind, man. I'm gonna make sure that you know how much I appreciate you, bro. I try my best to send some love out there for you. I'm gonna film something for you on my weekend. That while I'm out and about this weekend, I'm gonna film something for you. I'm gonna film something for you, at least a little tease of what we could do when you come out here. Because if you come out here with Pops or with one or two goons, we can go check out a few things. As long as we're all dressed up in the Goonsville and stuff, we could take some great pics, some great stuff for you for marketing and stuff. But I know you remember what I did with my stickers for my little clips, bro. And I'm gonna probably hit up a Vegas landmark. I'll bring a good. I might just bring all my hats stacked together, and then I'll film a little something for you, man, just so you know how much I appreciate you because you didn't have to do this. You threw in the stickers because I'm always asking for stickers. I need the stickers, bro. I got this fridge. We're trying to get a second fridge in here for the studio because we're going to have more seating on that side so we can have guests in here for the watch along so we can have people in here so we can rotate. We're still going to get a couch. That's something we're saving up for. We got a lot of stuff that we're focused on, guys, in terms of like focusing on our Denver trip, focusing on getting our Bronco Raider ticket. That's going to be our next goal. This next week or so, we're going to get our Bronco Raider ticket for December 20th here in Vegas, which is a Broncos home game, guys. So we're going to check that out. And, but no, I got the Greek Festival coming up and I'm going no matter what. But I hope he comes out so he can see what I've done for him here. And this fridge may not stay in this spot. There may be, I might move this fridge and get a second fridge and just put them side by side all the way over there. And this whole section might get like a redo. And this Goonsville merch corner might get a step up because I just might store all my Goonsville right here. And it all depends on how I make it look. But the studio is not done. The studio's forever evolving, guys. Studio and set design is something that I'm having fun with. That's my favorite part of the whole YouTubing thing, guys, is just the studio and set design. The producing stuff, that's fun too. Air quotes. But no, guys, I got nothing but love for Goonsville. Goonsville is just awesome. I look up to Goonsville and Petros, so I hope one day I can grow up to be like Petros, guys. And I'm practicing a kick, bro. I'm gonna look up on YouTube. I'm gonna show up. Next time you see me in Denver, I'm gonna show up with a kick of my own, bro. Just to show that I could get the leg up. I've said it before. I used to jump hurdles, bro. I can get the leg up in the air, and I'm 6'2", bro. I can get the leg up. All right, but yeah, no, man, I appreciate you, Petros. One more time, guys. Let's take a quick look. I'm gonna show you guys. Let's take a gander. All right, guys. So look at this. Look at the Goonsville. Look at that. We love it. All right. And this is the one we ordered with the shirt, guys. I mean, with the hat. Yeah, Opa's in the chat. Let's pull it up. Absolutely. The Greek Goonsville. I'm ready for the Greek festival, especially because Petros took care of me and he made sure to give me the white as well, which he did not need to do. And I'm going to show my appreciation somehow, bro. I know if I probably try to pay for it, you're going to get on me. So I'm gonna send you something cool. I'm going to film a cool little bit of content this weekend when I'm on the strip. I'm going to hit up the place I avoid the most. I avoid the Las Vegas sign, and maybe I'll just take a few pics of all of your stuff there, make a cool little clip for you, and send that to you as a bit of appreciation, bro. Because you hooked it up on the stickers, you hooked it up on the shirts, and you took care of me, bro. You got me ready for the Greek festival, bro. So, much love to Goonsville. We got the Greek one right here. Greek text. He knows me. I'm an XL. I'm trying to get down to a large, guys. We got the belly. There's not much I can do for my frame, guys. We're going to keep going, but we'll see. All right. Look at the white. You took care of it. And then again, this is the one that I bought. And I also have my St. Patrick's Day one, guys. So now I have 4 Goonsville shirts. I'm ready to go when it comes to this heat in Vegas. I can still rock my Goonsville, and I don't have to suffer in this with these hoodies. Maybe it's the heat that you've been getting in Denver, man. Maybe you understand what I got, but no, man, I'm just kidding. I got nothing but love for you. I appreciate you. Much love to Goonsville, guys. Again, big round of applause to Goonsville. That is awesome. I can't say how much I appreciate that, man. We got the stickers. You sent me 3 of these awesome stickers. I'm going to give one to Mom. So Mom's going to get a sticker. She always needs an extra sticker anytime she can. I always need stickers, bro. I got it on the laptop right here. I got a sticker on the laptop right here. I always need a sticker. I always need a Goonsville sticker for something. So, I'm grateful to have that. Let me put this lights hat away. But yeah, man, I'm going to film you something just so you see my appreciation. It's something that you can use and post for your marketing, bro. So, I give you free ads, and that's just because I look up to your work ethic. That helps me keep going, because there's days where this feels like overwhelming and a little too much at times, especially being new and trying to figure out how to do all this. And it's difficult at times for someone that's new and doesn't know what they're doing. Absolutely. Yep. Opa. Man, I got nothing but love for the Greek community. I wish I could have been there for the Greek festival. I really wish I could. But, as long as I'm in Vegas, I will keep going to the Greek festival in Vegas just to show out and rep. Hopefully in the next year or 2, I'm out in Colorado and I'm living out there. That's the goal. But yeah, much love to Goonsville, guys. We're going to make sure we clip this, and we're going to turn this in a little video. So thank you guys if you watched that video. This might be the end of that video when it's posted. So thank you. Bye. All right. Sorry. I needed to clip that. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to put on some of this Greek Goonsville. We're going to throw on that text one just because that's awesome. Man, again, thank you, Petros. We admire all that Goonsville. Again, guys, it's good to go support Goonsville because this man's a Broncos fan too. He's a Broncos fan. Go support your fellow Broncos fan. Go support your fellow, Colorado sports, lover, man. This man loves Colorado sports. This man is an athlete himself, from Taekwondo. He's an athlete himself. He played corner. This man was an athlete. So go support Petros. This awesome man right here, man. He killed it on his, interview with the news. He's already done another interview with them back during the season. I got nothing but love for Goonsville, guys. I'm incredibly blessed to have Petros as a friend and someone I count as a brother from another state. There's a reason why. There's a reason why they separate, some of your friends and put them in different states or make a move, or you don't live next to each other. Is because the world knows that if you guys were close, you guys would get into trouble or create chaos. And if I was there, Goonsville would be coming for the White House. I would be Petros's campaign manager, and next you know, Goonsville will be in the White House. And then by law, you guys would all have to force to be wearing Goonsville. I'm kidding, guys. But my point is when you make great friendships, you support and you do anything you can to care and help these friendships grow, as well as anything to help their brands grow. Because I'm just a tiny little channel, and who knows what we'll be in a year, 2 years, 3 years. But to say Goonsville has been with us from the beginning, that's what matters, guys. To say Goonsville's been with us from the beginning, that's what matters. So again, much love to Goonsville. My mother's saying it right there. Opa. We got nothing but love for Goonsville. And yeah, again, I'll make sure my mom gets one of these stickers. She'll like it. These are awesome, and I love these. I love your stickers, bro. I'm trying to get some new Still Up Sports stickers at one point. Definitely before Denver, I need to have all my new stickers made, because I got to bring a lot of them, because I'm going to be giving them and wheeling them, dealing them out there, guys. I might get some business cards too. We'll see, because you gotta hustle sometimes for these followers or these subs sometimes. All right, guys. Let me turn that back on. All right. Don't worry, guys. We're going to be actually talking sports. And if there's something on your mind, we can talk about it. We're going to do the second hour of this show. We're going into Bo Nix, and we're going to talk a whole hour of Bo Nix. We'll call it the Glazing Bo Nix Hour, the Bo Nix Glaze Hour, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go hard on how pumped I am for Bo Nix. I'm pretty excited for Bo Nix. Maybe pause on that whole go hard thing for Bo Nix. We'll pause on that. Yeah, definitely a pause. Right. Let's see, guys. This is what happens when I realize I haven't used the soundboard and I start using it. I didn't play my intro music this time. Didn't play any of that. We just jumped right into it. But I think that was still fine. We got the Red Bull, the sugar-free, of course. Thank you so much for everyone watching. We just opened up our awesome package from Goonsville. You see this new hat? I love it. I love my Goonsville. I appreciate it. All right, we're gonna see. Here it is, guys. Love it. And see, guys, I've got a haircut recently, so I could have styled the hair and stuff, but I said, nah, we're gonna keep it messy tonight, and we're just gonna throw on the Goonsville hat just to rep it, because I'm excited that it came. Got nothing but love for it. But I would love if you guys do me a favor. My name is Cody Chapa. I hope you're watching for the first time, or if you're not, you're probably watching after the fact. Of course, let me know how you feel about Bo Nix and what do you think Bo Nix is going to do this year. We're going to get into Bo Nix here in just a second. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, hold on, guys. We got a cat. We got a kitty cat right here. Hi. Hi, lady. You can see her, guys, right there. She's popping her head. She's showing her face. Oh, there we go. Yep. She's happy. This lady has quite a bit to say about Bo Nix here. Yeah. See, all you got to do is talk about Bo Nix and the cat purrs, guys. Also pause? Maybe. Yeah, guys, I got some fun discussions on Bo Nix. One, why I think he's going to be Superman. What I think his stats will be, of course, because everyone is talking about Bo Nix right now. Everyone is going into Bo Nix, which is fine, because that's everyone's most favorite player. That's what we're excited for. We miss Bo. Besides Jalen Waddle, we're not too excited about much, because we're running it back. We're excited about Waddle. We're excited to see Bo back. Those are the two big headlines, really. There's some other headlines out there, but the two things people are excited to see is Bo and Waddle. Not necessarily them together, but definitely both of them in general. You know what I mean? Waddle is the exciting thing that everyone wants to see, but we're excited to see Bo back and see how that ankle looks. We will ease into the Bo Nix conversation in about 10 minutes, guys. If anyone is just joining or watching, we went to our first professional soccer game this weekend. Super cool, all inclusive food, drink for $52. Great ticket, great view, great nonstop drinks and food all night. Pretty fun. Normally would have been like an $80 ticket, so we got that ticket for literally like $3. Not $3, for $52. So it was a great ticket. Yep, Waddle. See, that's what we're excited for is Waddle. One, and everyone loves throwing up the penguin emojis, and everyone loves, the Waddle dance and that kind of conversation. Hold on, guys. My son just came in. I got to throw him a pass. We threw him a pass, and he did not catch it, guys. He dropped it. He is not Larry Fitzgerald reincarnated. Larry's not dead, but he's not Larry Fitzgerald as a cat. I've tried. I've really drilled him into trying to, catch with his hands. He does body catches. And he misses every time. He can't handle a pass. All right, guys. We are... Oh, I never did a time check. It is currently 1:16 a.m. Mountain Time. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful day. When we started this show, it was pushing 12:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Thank you so much for being here. Again, like, comment, subscribe. All that goes a long way in helping us grow and get the attention we want for this channel. We're trying to go up a sub every day or so. We're really trying to, hit 500 before or during the season. So that way, we can eventually start doing 24-hour streams that are for charity and are monetized, because I would love to be the 24-hour, charity guy, for Broncos content, guys. I would love that. And all we would probably do, we'd probably go for maybe a few like human causes, like homeless shelters or stuff like that. But besides that, we would really just focus on like animal rescues and stuff like that. But we're at 104 on YouTube, so if you're watching after the fact, like, comment, subscribe. Help us grow help us get one more sub. It really helps us go a long way. We're trying to do what we can and grow any way possible. Sometimes it's one view on X, one view on YouTube. Soon we're going to be on TikTok soon as well. Every little bit helps. But yeah, so that's what the page looks like, guys. That's our discussion today is Bo Nix, of course. We're going to do player deep dives or personnel, player or personnel. Every stream, we're putting an hour into each one of these players, and we haven't even started with Bo, guys. We're going to talk about stats. We're going to pull up his stats from the first 2 years. We're going to do all that crap. Everyone's been talking Bo Nix. All the Broncos content creators, all the Broncos media personnel, all the journalists, everyone has Bo Nix. So why wouldn't you? He is the topic of discussion. I think he's going to be Superman. So we will get into this discussion about Bo. And I'm a bit nerdy, guys, so I have no problem doing this. But with each player or personnel member that we do this with, they're going to be getting a superhero character or affiliate character, just so we can describe them. And I think Bo Nix is Superman. He only has one kryptonite, and we'll get to what that is. And it's obvious. I think we all know what that is. It's a certain word, health. We'll just say that. That's his kryptonite, is health. If he can stay healthy, there's no worry. But we'll get into that in a second, guys. So yeah, go check us out on YouTube. We're at 104. We'd love to hit 105, 106 this week. It'd be awesome. We're on X, guys. The stream, you can see it. We're streaming on X right now. We are streaming on X. We're going to be streaming on TikTok soon. Instagram, right here, guys, we do have an Instagram, 114 followers. We're going to be doing private streams just on, well, it's just Instagram only streams every once in a while. We haven't figured out how we're going to format those, but we will do Instagram only streams too. And as we grow the fan base and we normalize this concept of late night sports talk, guys, that'll get easier and easier. Everything when it comes to content will get easier when we get more of you guys in here supporting. Because the more comments, the more questions that can create possible videos or shorts or discussions. And we do have an area right here. We're going to be filming right behind the camera. We have another area we're going to start filming our shorts and some of our videos in, guys. But yeah, go check us out on Instagram. And then again, here we are. We're on TikTok. If you have a TikTok, go support us on TikTok. We neglected TikTok for a while, and we're not going to do that anymore. On TikTok, we're going to make sure that we start doing we're going to add it so soon on our next stream. It'll be YouTube, X, and TikTok all at the same time. And then we'll do Instagram separately, or if we have to do Instagram on like a cell phone, we just might. But either way, we're going to get streaming, and we're going to make sure that the TikTok crowd can be taken care of, because there's some good people on there. And, the show's a 2-hour show tonight. I was hoping to, get a guest, but we'll see. Yeah, no guests tonight. We still need our first ever late night guest, guys. So if there's someone you want, drop it in the comments after the fact. Let me know if there's someone you want me to bug and see if they want to stay up at night for it, or if you want me to just message someone and see if there's someone I can interview and, post that. I would love that. I would love to, record something like that. There's some of these guys that I have no doubt before or after one of their streams, they would let me pop in and then like do a little recording session. And even if I can't get them live on the air, maybe I can record some interviews with some of these cool content creators or journalists or stuff, and we can just air those on the stream. So I'm going to reach out to some people this week, and we're going to see who is open to the possibility of maybe doing an interview, and it can be on their time if I have to. If I have to wake up just to pop on and record an interview, I'll do it just so it's on their time. But I think that'd be cool. I might reach out to one or two guys. Literally, I got one or two guys on my mind, and I'll ask if we can record an interview. Of course, we're going to do one with Petros. So whenever Petros from Goonsville shows up, we'll make sure we get him on, and we'll do a 24-hour with him for sure. Not 24-hour, but we'll give him his own, episode, his own recording. You know what I mean? Sorry, guys. I need a drink of that Red Bull, and this isn't a food ASMR channel. I'm not going to let you sit here and listen to me drink. Yeah, so we are on TikTok as well, guys. So feel free to go check us out on TikTok. Go check us out on YouTube, X, and Instagram, guys. I'm thinking about in the future a Patreon, as well as I'm thinking about when we start eventually doing gaming content, which would be more for like our off time or our boring time or fill gap time, that we might want to have a Twitch probably. So maybe down the line we'll go Patreon, Twitch. I don't know about Facebook yet. I don't know about making a Facebook account yet, guys, for the channel. Just because I think Facebook is on its, I think it's starting to die. That's just me though. And yeah, a few minutes in, we're gonna change, and we're gonna jump into one of those Goonsville shirts. I'm gonna put on a Goonsville shirt, and then we're gonna, change for a second. Oh, but I made you listen to me drink. See, guys, I contradicted myself. This is what happens when we get excited. When we get excited to talk about Bo Nix. When we get, some awesome stuff from Goonsville, we get pretty excited. So that happens. Yeah, guys. So if you have any comments, questions after the fact, drop them in. I would love to hear it. I'd love to respond and engage with you. Maybe you think I'm wrong. I got some fun stuff with the Sponics stuff. Um, this weekend, we are going to do International Fight Week, which is going to be on the weekend as well. Same with day 3 of the SAC Summit. And after the SAC Summit, they are having an after party at the Marquee. So I think maybe I can go check out like outside of the Marquee or something like that, or stand on the sidewalk somewhere and try to get pictures, or maybe snag an interview for someone roaming around. It may be a pass rusher. There's going to be a lot of football players roaming around, not just for the SAC Summit, but because it is International Fight Week and it's a Conor McGregor fight. There's going to be a lot of football players there, guys. So, don't be surprised if you see like John Jones show up with Chandler Jones, and his brother, don't be surprised if you see a lot of former or current NFL players just show up at this Conor McGregor fight. So this is why I want to hang out at International Fight Week and roam around, because you never know who you'll bump into. And I'm just going to be roaming and hoping that I bump into someone cool on the weekend that maybe I can ask a question or get a quote or something from, because you never know. If you know there's someone there to ask a question for, the worst you can do is put yourself in the vicinity and try to ask a question. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not necessarily out there for autographs. I'm bringing a pen and paper. I'm not bringing anything for autographs. I'm not after autographs while I'm out there. I'm out there for quotes. That's what I'm going to be out there for, is quotes. All right, guys. I'm just gonna jump over and put on that Goonsville real quick, and then I'll jump in and we'll probably ease ourselves into this Bonix discussion coming up. If you're with me right now, it is currently 1:26 a.m. Mountain Time. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being still up. Still Up Sports only exists because there's viewers like you that want to show up and watch and tune in for late night sports talk. Not everyone is up at this time. Some people watch this after the fact, and that means the world to anyone who watches this after the fact. It means the world to me. We are on the come up, guys. Soon I won't be alone in this. Soon I'll have help. Maybe one day I won't be doing this all by myself. Maybe, who knows what the future has in the fold for Still Up Sports. But all we're going to do is we're going to keep streaming and we're going to keep normalizing late night sports talk. And the best way to do that is being on the airwaves at this time of night, because there's no one else on the airwaves at this time of night, guys. So that's why we have to do it, and why we have to stay on it and stay repetitive with it. So incredible. Yeah, and I'm going to have to film something after the fact too, just for that incredible Goonsville gift, because you're incredible, Petros. Thank you again. Means the world. I needed shirts, and you threw in 2 extra shirts. That just means the world. We want those American hoodies coming up. So if you get some American hoodies or stuff coming out, me and Mom will buy those. I'll buy a shirt too. I'll buy an American shirt and an American hoodie. But besides that, when I'm on the strip this weekend, I might bring every one of my Goonsville hats, just so at least one of those days, just so I can go film some cool content for you, bro. Because I can take a picture of each one of those hats in front of some cool little Vegas landmark, and I can mesh them all together into a cool little edit, and I'll just gift you that edit, bro, and you can use that for content, whatever you want. Goonsville has got you guys. Any color you want, and he'll make colorways for you. You just got to reach out to them. They will take care of you. Best clothing company in the world, bro. All right, guys. I'm going to go put on some one of these Goonsville shirts. I'm going to give my mom her sticker. I'm sure she wants her sticker. And then when I get back, guys, we're going to go into Bonix for a whole hour. So stay tuned. All right. Let me turn on some little background music so you guys can, groove for a second. If you're watching after the fact, this is a great time to, check your texts or whatever you got going on, guys. All right. Okay, guys, I will see you in a second. Let me go put on one of those awesome shirts. Let me put this, we'll call it, be right back, not intermission, right? Yeah, be right back. All right, guys, I'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. I'm sorry to disrupt, guys, but we're back. We got a whole hour to talk about Bo Nix. Look at that Goonsville. It looks great. I love it. We're rocking the new hat. One of our new shirts that Petros threw in. I appreciate him, so much. All right, guys. So we got a fun discussion while we talk about Bo Nix. I'm gonna pull it up right here, and you tell me, what do you think? Do you think Bo Nix is in for a Superman type season? Because as we do this player deep dive and personnel deep dive, and we pick one each stream, and we're going to talk about each one for an hour, we're comparing them at one point or another in that discussion to a superhero or something. And Bo Nix has got to be Superman, right? He's got to be. The leader of the Justice League, a stoic, calm, kind human being, just like Superman. He would be our Superman. He's coming back from injury from what would be his kryptonite, guys, which is health, because there's never anything else that really limits him. Nothing that stops him. The man's a gamer. The man knows how to compete on levels that I've never seen. This man is going to be like Superman this year, guys. He is going to have an MVP type year. I got his stats that at least what I think his stats will be. I think he's going to really take a step up this year. I think this offense is going to be more efficient for him, and it's going to be something that he's going to be able to take advantage of, guys. We're going to keep talking Bo Nix this whole stream, at least for what's left of this stream, guys. Let's see. We do got a question or two. We will get a question or two in right now. Let's see. Do you think Bo will do better this year compared to last year? That's a great question. So here, guys. Let me pull it up. There's the stats. Here's the Bo Nix stats. From year 1 in 2024 to year 2 in 2025. We are approaching year 3 here, in 2026. But just take a look at this, guys. He's gotten better in my opinion. I mean, less TDs this year than in his rookie year. He did not have a sophomore slump. He had a good sophomore year. Maybe some of the stats, a little worse, not a little different, not that much. Really not much difference in much of his stats. I mean, it did get a little worse, I guess, this last year, but it was great. It was a great year, because did it get worse when you're making it almost to the Super Bowl, guys? No. It was a great year by Bo Nix. Bo had a great year. You see, he almost hit that 4,000 yards mark. I mean, on top of yards right there. I mean, less TDs this year. But, he had literally, it was that close. What was that? Almost 69 yards, whatever. Almost 4,000 yards passing. I got him going for a good bit more this year. So to answer your question, I believe, yes. I believe Bo's going to have a better this year. I don't believe Bo when he's like, I think my ankle will be better now. I think he's obviously, playing to the audience and to the crowd, to the viewers when he says stuff like what he did. But I think Bo is in for a great year. I think he has there's a lot of factors why Bo is in for a great year. And whether it's just Bo Nix himself, whether it's Jalen Waddle and that addition, and not just what it means for Bo, but also what it means for the tight end room, for the running back room, for the wide receiver room. It changes the whole offense. What Davis Webb might mean for Bo and his efficiency. There's so many things that may play a factor in it. And, of course, the first one is Bo himself. And we will talk about each one of those. I have them in my little notes over here, about which one, why. It might be Jalen Waddle's impact. It might be, the Davis Webb impact that might help. It might be this or that. I think one of the big X factors is the Bo Nix competitive, nature, X factor, because this man is hungry. Bo Nix is extremely hungry. I'm going to keep that pulled up, guys. Let's pull it up even more. There we go. That's probably better. Yeah, so I think Bo Nix is going to come back healthier this year, of course. Maybe not as dramatic as he said in his interview that one day where he said, I'll come back even, my ankle might be even better, or I might be faster, whatever it was, whatever that quote was. My point is, guys, I think he's definitely in for a better year. I think he's going to be healthier this year, of course. Anytime he's gotten injured, he comes back healthier and plays better too. But I do think that Bo is in for a great year. Bo's going to have a lot of cool extra stuff outside of himself as this stuff when it comes to a factor to the year of his he might have. There's a lot of outside stuff like the Webb and the Waddle and that discussion, maybe even the running backs being more capable, with the running game. Maybe that might help. But I think the biggest factor is Bo himself and where his confidence is, where he is feeling about coming back. He just had a baby girl with his wife, Izzy. The man is locked in. You can't deny it. The man has such a great competitive nature. We haven't seen a Broncos quarterback like Russell Wilson has a competitive nature. Sure, he was a competitive guy, but we haven't seen this kind of competitive nature from a Broncos quarterback that has played this way in multiple years, since Peyton Manning. And man, did you guys see that there's a card out there that Peyton Manning and Bo Nix signed? That would be a great card to have. Expensive card would be a great card to have. But we haven't had a quarterback, guys, that has had this kind of competitive nature since Peyton Manning. And he is relentless. I think that this man is going to do so much for this team going into year 3. Getting confident every year. I think this man is primed for an MVP year. This is why I'm calling him Superman. I think that he is in for a huge year just based off of what he's doing by himself. I'll tell you what I think his stats will be right now. Everyone is doing his stats and talking about what he may or may not do, yada, yada. I have what I think, and I think it's going to be great. I right here, I have his stats pulled up for the last 2 years, but like just in terms of like, let's see, so like he almost went for 4,000 yards, guys. I have him going for 4,800 yards. I think he's gonna go for much more yards. I just think this offense is going to be crazy efficient. I'm expecting a very, very clean, efficient offense, and part of that is Davis Webb and Bo. Even though Bo's going to come back and play some of his best ball ever, I think that Davis Webb is going to make this offense so much more efficient. It's going to squeeze out so much more. Plus, with Jalen Waddle, you're going to get so much just out of that. All of it is tied together, but in terms of his yards and stuff, I got 4,800 yards. I got 38 passing touchdowns. Man, he hasn't hit 30. He hit 29 in that rookie year, which was like right behind Justin Herbert or something like that for a record. He was right there, like about a touchdown or so away, and he didn't hit it. So, he hit 29 in his first year, down to 24 last year. I think he is in for like a 38 kind of plus, passing touchdown kind of season. I think you're going to see 2-3 passing touchdowns a week, probably 2. You're going to average probably 2, I think, easy, maybe 3. I think there's so many mismatches, and that this whole Broncos offense, not just with the addition of Waddle and with the addition of a quicker, more efficient offense, that's still the same offense. It's just Davis Webb did not install a whole new offense. He just added some tweaks. I think that is actually a blessing in disguise for what this means for everyone on this offense, but especially Bo, because he can get out of the huddle quicker. And there's going to be him and Davis will be on the same page. I'm not saying that Sean and Davis weren't on the same page, but I think Davis knows a little bit more what Bo wants in terms of how to make this go a little faster. And I think Davis knows what he wants to out of Bo. So I do think that that really helps. I think that, you're getting 38 passing touchdowns. You're getting 4,800 yards, not 5,000 yards, not 40 passing touchdowns, 38 passing touchdowns, 4,800 yards. We're not passing 5,000. We're not passing 40, but we're seeing a big step. I think this is that big jump from Bo Nix. He's going to demand respect. This is going to be that year that if you're going to do it, this is the year. And I just feel it in my bones, guys. We got the interceptions last year. Let's see. All right. 12 and to 11. He went down in one last year, but he also less passing touchdowns too. So I actually have 38 passing TDs, 5 interceptions. That sounds like prime Aaron Rodgers, passing interception ratio type stuff. But I think he's going to have way less interceptions. I think the man is going to just be locked in. I truly, guys, I think that Bo Nix is a top 5 quarterback in this league. And that's not me being a homer. I think he's better than other guys like Jordan Love. He's better than Jared Goff. I think he's better than Drake May. I think he's better than a lot of these other guys. He continues to get better each year. He continues to get his team deeper into the playoffs each year. If he takes Denver to the playoffs and win, there's going to be, I don't know how these people in the media are going to try to create excuses or find ways to create it to a fluke or not give Denver their respect. They'll let them enjoy, even if they won a Super Bowl, they'd let them enjoy the win, and then they'd immediately say, was it a fluke? Is it one and done, yada, yada, yada. No Super Bowl team, no matter what, gets its respect until it goes back to back. Even if you win it once, people will find a way to say, oh, no, this has only happened because of this or that. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. The dog was barking. He heard some stuff. We were going to do this show last night, and we had fireworks going off outside. And the way people are out here, when they're firing fireworks off right outside the apartment, you just never know when they'll happen. And we didn't take that risk yesterday, guys. Thank you everyone for being in the chat. Everyone being here. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Yep. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, guys. All that helps. We're at 104 on YouTube right now. We're trying to go up to 105. That'd be really cool if we can go up to 105, guys. So go check out YouTube. Hit subscribe. Go get us up to 105. That'd be awesome. But yeah, going back to Bo Nix, I think he's going to clean up his game and be much more productive. I think this is where we see a high level, him type play. I think some people want to sleep on what's possible. Some people want to shoot for the moon. I think that what I'm doing isn't too bad, but it would be incredible in terms of this. I think that between Waddle and Webb and what should be a year 3 starting quarterback, guys, you should be in this is where a year 3 quarterback should, this is where they should be making their bread. They should be easily leading their team into deep playoff runs like this. So we should be seeing another year of efficiency from Bo that is only getting better, and we need him to take this step, guys. We need over 30 touchdowns easily this year. I think that in terms of yards, we need easily over 4,000 yards this year. That's why I got 4,800 yards, and I got 38 passing TDs. I got 5 interceptions, so I think it's going to be cleaner too. I got 5 rushing touchdowns. I think that's the same as it was last year, I think. I don't know if it says it up here, but I think he had 5 rushing touchdowns last year. I think it's going to stay the same, maybe even less, honestly. And then in terms of rush yards, I don't have a rushing yard prediction. I hope it's less. That's my opinion. I hope that you see a humongous jump in these passing yards because he's running less, and you're seeing more guys take advantage of run after the catch. That's going to be a big deal with some of those passing yards, is some of this run after the catch, and that's something I'm expecting Waddle to help with, because if Waddle can take 1 or 2, maybe 3 balls, 50, 60, 70 yards, that's nice. If Troy or Marvin can take a ball, 20, 30, 40, 50 yards, that helps. I think these deep balls are going to really be something that Bo really lines up and settles into this year. Bo's going to really clean up his game, in my opinion. I'm assuming you mean raises completion percentage, lower interceptions. What does he have to do to accomplish this? Great question, Martin. I think Jalen Waddle will help him, raise his completion percentage. And then I think Davis Webb being the offensive coordinator. I don't know. I just think Waddle and Webb can be a great combination for Bo really taking a step up in his production levels, as well as cleaning it up. I would like to see half of the touchdowns that he's averaged. He's averaged, 12, 11? Let's see. Yeah, 12, 11. I would like him to cut half those out going into year 3 as a starting quarterback. As a starting quarterback going to year 3, I would like to see over 4,000 passing yards. If we're just saying, what we want, to be a little better, again, with the touchdowns, I want to see over 30. So I think that, between Waddle and Webb, I think you see more touchdowns. I think you see more yards, especially with Waddle. With the yards, I think you see more, run after catch, yada yada. And then less interceptions. I think less interceptions is Sean Payton loves a quick game. He loves his screens, but I also think that Davis Webb is going to take advantage of some other stuff that Sean never did much. I think a good chunk of this plays in the fact that I expect this whole team and all these playmakers are going to be good in space if you can get them out there, especially Waddle. I just think Waddle opens up the offense so much more for everyone else. There's nothing but opportunity this year compared to the last few years. This year is a great year filled with opportunity to add to this touchdowns, to break the 30 touchdown mark, for him. That'd be a good milestone for Bo to break 30 touchdowns. This would be a great year to cut those interceptions in half. And I just have this gut feeling, of course, I'm not, a professional in anything like this. Some of this is still casual in me, but I just think that you in general, you want your year 3 starting quarterback to clean up his game and elevate it as well, right, Martin? And I think that with year 3, you want your quarterback to surpass 4,000 yards, surpass 30 passing touchdowns, and go down less than 8 interceptions, 8, 7 interceptions. Go down less. Some of this is all how I feel, of course, and hypothetical. We're all just trying to pass the offseason. I have bold hopes for him. I'm not saying Bo goes for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. I think he doesn't even reach 5,000. I think he doesn't reach 40 passing touchdowns. But I think 38 would be really cool. Because if I'm trying to think about what Waddle can add and maybe what you can expect from hopefully a more productive running game too. I also think RJ Harvey is going to be a great receiving weapon too. I think there's some touchdowns there and receiving yards there for Bo right there with RJ as well. I think RJ can be like a 1,000-yard multi-purpose back between receiving and running. Yeah, and that was something he did a little too much. Bo does need to trust his pocket and not scramble as much. You don't mind him taking a few extra sacks as long as it's not. I see, and I would be fine with those sacks being like Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning would do the self sack where you just sense the pressure and take it. If it's in like a first or second, as long as they're not in first or second downs, of course, that's of course I understand what you mean. But Peyton Manning, he had to do that at times, and Peyton was never a scrambler like Bo, not even as much capable. And I wouldn't be opposed to Bo scrambling in the right time, but I'm there with you in terms of wanting him not to scramble as much, trust his pocket. I think you have the best left tackle in the game, one of the best left tackles in the game. You got a good offensive line that's coming back and has that continuity for another year. Trust that line, trust that pocket, and then if you really need to, take the extra sack or two. Self sack yourself like Peyton would, if it means taking less damage. I think the passing yards go up, and his running yards go down drastically. So that's something I also will attribute to more passing yards besides having Webb and Waddle. I think are great things to think about when it comes to more passing yards. Maybe even better production from the tight ends. Maybe that's all hypothetical with the tight ends until we see it happen. I hate talking about the tight ends until they're good. And maybe one of these days I'll just spend a whole hour talking about Adam Prentice and why we should just fullback run it every once in a while, or get the fullback involved. But that's just me. And that's if I played Madden with a real world NFL, I would be just fullback run every other game, every other play. Get the fullback involved. I love getting the fullback involved. But no, in general, I think you're going to see a more capable running game. I think you're going to see a more open offense with Jalen and a quicker, more efficient offense because of Davis Webb. So there's a lot of things in Bo's favor, especially because he has a history of coming back from injuries and staying healthy after the fact, So he has a history of when he does get hit, hurt, he does come back, and he does tend to, he won a high school state championship after getting hurt, and then after getting hurt at Oregon, he came back and took his team pretty deep, into I think the college football playoffs, or he had a really, really good year that year. That's my point. So, Bo has this competitive edge that if you injure him or if he comes down with an injury, he just might come back, with a little bite, or a little more, pep in his step, whatever you want to call it, guys. But no, I definitely don't want him to scramble as much. And this is why, I have 5 rushing TDs, maybe less. I just don't want to see him run as much. I think his rushing yards go down, and I think his rushing TDs go down. And hopefully that's because of the fact that your running backs are doing more. If your running backs are doing more and being more productive and capable, and again, this is why I think, having RJ Harvey as that good multi-purpose back, one can help with those yards that I'm talking about and those touchdowns. Because like Jalen Waddle, man, if you get RJ Harvey in space, he can make guys miss. And those two great, yak guys, yards after catch, if you get them in the space and you get the ball in their hands, they can really make people move. I mean, they can lose guys. So I think there's quite a bit really favoring Bo Nix right now. There's so much just from even Sean Payton's still there, just sitting in this offense. Even though Davis has made some changes, Sean Payton this offense is just another third. This is just what Bo's third year in this offense. So he's just going to get even more comfortable. There's some tweaks, but I think there are tweaks that favor him. Yeah, if your running backs are doing their job, then Bo doesn't have to do it more. Yeah, and that's why I think it opens up more possibility for him in the passing game. Again, with these stats are not horrible, but for an NFL starting quarterback that we want to like, I think he's a top 5 quarterback because of what he has done. With these amazing comebacks and with this deep playoff run. In his first year, getting us to a wild card for ending our playoff drought as a rookie. Incredible. And then in his second year, in what some of these stats went down in his second year, but either way, he has gotten to get this team deeper and deeper into the playoffs. And this man loves adversity. You can tell he does. He is fueled by it, and I think that Bo Nix is going to be hungry. He has a great competitive edge that leads you to just believe in him. Come here, lady. Come on. Come here. Come here, sweet lady. She's meowing. I know. I'll feed you after the stream. Up. Hi, sweet lady. Hi. Yep, you lay down. You lay down right there on your tree. Yes, we got a sweet lady. She loves Bo Nix. She is talking about Bo Nix for MVP. I agree, and I think Bo Nix, this team wins a Super Bowl if he is Superman. Not necessarily saying that he has to carry the whole team, but he needs to take that step up. He needs to really take that step up for a top 5 type quarterback. He needs to these yards, these touchdowns, cutting these interceptions. There's all this stuff. You want to have better QBR too, I guess. 53 to 58, whatever. You want less sacks, of course, but if it means him not running as much, I would gladly be fine with a few more sacks up there, especially if he self-sacks like Peyton. I think that's an art that QBs need to understand. Too many of them would rather just try to make something happen, and then sometimes that results in fumbles. I.e., Josh Allen in the Bills game, scrambling, and then boom, fumble. That man couldn't help himself. And in that moment, a sack would have been better than a fumble. Some of these quarterbacks need to understand that sacking yourself is an art. And it's literally like throwing the ball away. Throwing the ball away is an art because it can literally save your drive from you getting a little too arrogant or too cocky, or trying to do too much. Thank you, Martin. I appreciate you popping in, by the way. I didn't say it, but I appreciate you popping in, man. I don't know if you're a subscriber, but feel free to subscribe. Everything's free, of course, but I'm on YouTube. I'm trying to normalize late night sports talk, man. I'm not sure if you are following already, and if you are subbed, thank you, man. I'm excited. I don't know if Bo has top 5 physical skills, but you can't convince me that there is more than 5 QBs who want to win as badly as he does. No one wants it as bad. I think he is definitely top 5 and who wants it the most. Physically, I'm not even saying he's top 5 in physically gifted. I just think that when he got drafted, he came to the right place. There are other teams that if he went to, they would have spoiled this product in Bo Nix. They would not have known how to use it or what to do with it. He came in the perfect place. I think he's the best. He doesn't need to have all the physical skills, which is why you and me don't want him to run as much. He doesn't need to have all the physical skills as long as he keeps growing up here and being in the same offense for his 3rd year is just going to add nothing but more to that growth up there for him. And then having Davis Webb really probably these tweaks to this offense. It's not a whole offensive install by Davis Webb. These tweaks on this offense, Martin, they're going to be something to do probably with keeping this offense moving and keep it going faster. That's why I expect some more completions, faster, quicker passes. Does not mean all of them are going to be does not mean every single one of these is going to be, what you call it, typical Sean Payton, whatever, quick pass. I think this, the words, sorry guys, it's a late night. The words slipped my mind. Sean Payton didn't weigh too much. It's a play. The words off the top of my head. I got so much flowing through the mind, but I can't believe I'm forgetting a football word, guys. But no, I think Davis Webb, this offense is going to be more efficient. It's going to keep moving faster. You're going to see less substitutions at times, and guys stay out there more often. And then whenever the substitutions do happen, I think they're going to be more capable substitutions to take advantage of better personnel. I think that by bringing in Waddle, that opens up this offense, and there's so many matchups. I think there's so many matchups on this with this team and what you got going on that you can add a lot of, even if you add a few hundred more yards out of the tight end production, that helps. I think that you have a chance for Harvey to be a true, like Darren Sproles, multi-purpose type back as well for like over 1,000 both. And I mean, like 500, passing, 500 running, whatever. I think he's that capable. We have our RB2 for the future for a while, which is awesome. Cool thing to have. But yeah, guys, if you're joining right now, just want to let you know, my name is Cody Chapa. This is Still Up Sports. We like to talk Denver Broncos, late night sports talk. We normalize late night sports talk by streaming at this time of night. I created Still Up Sports because I'm a Broncos fan, but I work 4 to midnight. And when I get off work at midnight, there's no live content to get involved in and watch or even engage in live stream or chat and stuff. There's only reruns from like ESPN or NFL Network, or you have to watch whatever creators made the day before. And at times I was just stuck having to wait until the day to watch creators. And at times I have to sleep a little bit during the day because of when I work 4 to midnight. Sometimes there's a chance where I'm having to sleep a little into the daytime, and I miss some of these creators. So for me, there was no late night sports talk, and nowhere for me to get my source of Broncos talk and engage. So then I decided to become the source, and I'm a 4th generation Broncos fan. It runs through my blood from me, my mother, my grandmother, and then my great grandfather. We're all Broncos fans, and even though I am a Broncos channel, I talk about all sports. I talk about all sports, even the Denver Broncos, especially the Broncos. But I'm not a refined product. This show is not a refined product by any means, but it's only going to keep getting better. I'm only going to keep learning stuff. And down the line, I'm sure I won't be doing this solo. I'm sure I'll have extra assistance down the line. And, soon we might be a big time brand and a big time, source for late night sports talk. If I can just encourage anyone to, at least get into the late night sports, field, I would really suggest it, because there's a lot of sports fans who work late at night. Like, think about the truckers, think about the security guards, think about the late night, stalkers who work in warehouses. Think about all these sports fans that would love to hear a live sports podcast or something, that they can enjoy. Think about the sports fans who are just up late at night because they can't sleep. This is what we're here for. Any content I film in the future is all going to be exclusively dropped on streams, and then they will be on shorts or on videos after the fact. Anything I air in the future, everything I air is all going to be on these shows. Shows when it's just me like this, will probably just go for 2 hours, especially because in the future, I want to do monologues, like 10, 15-minute monologues. 5 to 10-minute monologues. I want to have guests on the show. And even if I don't have a guest on the show, I want to start recording during their time, so I can at least have an interview that I can drop on the show. And eventually I want the show to go for 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours every night. with like 30 minutes of it being an interview, and then with like 30 minutes of it being like a video or one or two videos. Air my videos on the shows, and then they can drop after the fact, as shows, or as videos or as shorts. Same with like ads. Goonsville gets free ads. I'm gonna pre-record one or two free Goonsville ads. They're all free. I'm gonna record one or two Goonsville ads, and that way, if I ever want to talk about Goonsville, I can just play the ad maybe and step aside. I'm looking for sponsors. I'm looking for people to get involved with the channel and help me grow. I'm not asking for anything really in return. I'll try whatever your product is or whatever, but I'm not looking for sponsors in terms of like, give me money. I don't want money. I need to be able to do ad reads. Doing an ad read helps me. It helps me get professional. I got this little notebook because it's all my notes and how I, try to keep track on here. But a sponsor is good just because it helps me, do my best to professionalize and keep this channel looking and growing and getting more and more professional. Soon we're going to have a background. Let me move this off. We're going to have a background being made. She's already working on it right now. Just a matter of a time until it's done. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Martin. Like I said, I'm not sure if you're following or if you already are, or if you're subscribed, but I appreciate you being here. The comments, you asked some great questions, and these questions help me, sometimes keep the ball rolling. I've done 2 24-hour streams, so I have the record for the longest Broncos channel sports stream. I've done them twice already, so I've done 2 24-hour streams. This weekend I'm going to go down and cover day 3 of Von Miller, Cam Jordan, and Max Crosby, their sack summit with all the league's pass rushers. I don't have credentials. I'm not invited, but I'm going to report the best I can from public property or the sidewalk. And then I'm going to be checking out, outside of the marquee, the nightclub and stuff, because there's an after party for the sack summit. And I'm just going to see if I can wrangle up, because walking the strip and stuff, you never know who you'll bump into. And then there's the Conor McGregor fight this upcoming weekend. So I guarantee a lot of these NFL players are going to be there. So I'm just going to roam around the strip for a day or two and see if I can bump into someone and get an interview or talk to someone. But I appreciate, you and the support. I'm trying to get better every day. These shows are eventually, again, the goal is to go for 3 or 4 hours every night, with at least an hour or so of that being pre-recorded content, whether it's an interview or at least a live interview, as well as, a video or two that I previously film and then air on the show as well. Right now, like, I got to learn how to keep getting better at editing. I got to do thumbnails still. There's still a lot to do, but it's a very young channel. So, we're just doing our best. But your support, Martin, your comments were great. You helped me really keep the ball rolling with some of these great Bo Nix questions. If you were to compare Bo Nix to a superhero, if you were to compare Bo Nix to Superhero, who do you compare him to? Because I got him as Superman. It just feels like the most fitting character. And yes, let me answer your question. You mentioned Von with Cooper's situation in the air. Do you think we should sign Von or another pass rusher? That is a great question. And I am open to the Von Miller situation and bringing him back in. Not most people know he has his own legal situation going on at the moment, but it is... to my knowledge, not as, all this stuff is, serious. These are different shades of gray when we start talking about legal stuff. But I think that I would be open to signing Von Miller and bringing him in, because I think he could really play a factor. And for the record, I want Cooper cut. I just want him cut. I'm ready to move on. My big question is, if we cut Cooper, who wears 0? That would be a big question. Is 0 tainted because of Cooper, or is there another player that takes 0? That's a good question. But no, you have a great question. And to answer your question, I think Vaughn would be great to have in the room. He could do a lot for Jonathan Cooper and these young guys like Ellis and Q Robinson. I think he can do a lot for that room and really help them grow. And I think that he only played like 35% of the snaps in. He only played 35% of the snaps in Washington, and he got like 9 sacks. So I know he's not a starter. I know he's not going to play special teams. But if you sign him, maybe you make him play 40% of the snaps. Give him a little bit more opportunity without also doing much, because then you can still allow half of those Jonathan Cooper reps, maybe a pinch more of half of those Jonathan Cooper reps to be split between Ellis and Q. Either way, if I would love Vaughn back, I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see. I would like it to happen. But if they roll with Q Robinson and Jonah Ellis, and they still have Dondrea Tillman, they got other guys, and you can run these fronts out differently too, to create different ways to pass rush. So you can do all kinds of things. Let's not forget that. Let me see. I got to check my previous thing. Let's see. Where is it? It was a JMac stat. Where is it? Where's JMac? I had a great stat about JMac. I'm trying to find it. Man. Okay, yeah. Jaquan McMillan has over 7 sacks in his time with the Broncos. So my point is you can queue up pressure anywhere. I'm not saying you're cornerback blitzing the whole time. I'm just saying you can queue up pressure from anywhere, and you can do this with maybe with Vaughn or without, but you can also send all kinds of pressure or all kinds of fronts. Like you can go, Ellis, Bonito, Q, and Zach Allen. You can go you can line up and send a front out any way you want. So I think there's a lot of ways to get some good pressure. I'm not worried about, honestly, maybe I am naive, but I am not as worried about the departure of JFM. One, as long as the run game defense, does not take a dip, I'm not too worried about it. Between Onyedem, Ini Aruzarike, and between him and Savion Jones, those three, I truly think someone's going to take that spot. It might start out as a rotation. One of those guys is taking that spot. I'm giving it to the rookie. I think if they wouldn't have drafted him if they were excited about Savion. I'm not as high on Savion. I hope he is and grows into what he can be. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts out as a rotation. I think one of those three guys takes the room and takes that JFM spot. So I'm not too worried about that. Just like, honestly, I'm not as worried about the edge, which is 2 holes now on the defense that people should be focused about. That's 2 big holes to be stressed out about. And part of me is not as worried just because of the fact that I just love the depth in the replacements, and it almost makes me. Like, as a guy who loves camp battles, I almost like salivate thinking about these camp battles, because like at edge, especially with Coop not probably being there, or like on the D line, I love the camp battles at like backup safety. That's a big discussion because Brandon Jones, he's on a contract year and he's coming back from injury, so that backup safety role is important. And I love, like, I'm growing more and more on this. Miles Scott, might really, make his name known and push for the 53-man roster. When you got guys like JL Skinner and you got guys like Tyson Anderson and all that. Bo's more like Batman. Great choice. Someone who does it more in grit and smarts than Superman's power. I think Bo's power is his kindness and his character and his competitive nature. Like, Superman's competitive. I'm not taking the Superman part as like the powers. I'm taking it as like what makes Superman great is like that part, like the human. Like there's a reason why Batman is not the leader of the Justice League. But I love Batman as a great option because if you think about it, you could have also said that Batman is Bo because Batman has all these gadgets and he knows how to use every one of them and he has a solution for everything. And Bo is pretty much like that. So that's a great comparison. And I love that comparison. It's a good discussion there. I think there's a reason why Superman is the leader of the Justice League because he has like the moral heart and the compass and the personality, and that's more like he's very competitive too. No matter what race it is with the Flash, the man has fun with it still too because he likes to win. Or at least be involved in that stuff. But yeah, no, I think that Batman's a great comparison. To me, I'm gonna in my small tease on the whole who is Batman thing because this is gonna be every stream. I'm gonna pick a Bronco player or personnel member. So that means it could be an OC, DC, or head coach. Who might play their factor or someone on the staff that will be a member. And I already have someone in mind for Batman. And I already have someone in mind, and that may be leaning more into the personnel department on there instead of the players. But in general, this is just for fun discussion too. It's the off season, and I think Bo Nix is going to be Superman because I think he only has one kryptonite, and that is health. And kryptonite can be Superman's downfall, but it only happens once in a while. Hey man, I appreciate the comment from X from Denver is a city of champions. Thank you so much for popping in. Much love. Thank you for showing up and then popping in. We're just trying to normalize late night sports talk, guys. We start with the Broncos, but we talk anything as well. This is our channel. We're at 104 on YouTube. Feel free to go check us out and subscribe as well. Yeah. His motto does fit Bo, truth, justice, and the American way. Superman's personality, like Bo is definitely Clark Kent, right? Would you say like he's Clark Kent? Like I have a good choice for Batman, so I'm saving Batman for another stream. I'm probably leaning into personnel. I might have to reevaluate it before I fully make that pick, but I think that I have a great choice for Batman, but I think that Bo is definitely like he has some Clark Kent in him. I've been, I'm a big nerd, so I watch a lot of like stuff like that. But I think Bo is definitely like a Superman personality because he's kind. He's a great leader. He is truly a great leader. And if there was a Justice League or a superhero team made out of Bronco players, current Bronco players, he would be obviously the leader. He's the moral core of this team. That man is like, imagine if something were to happen to Superman, how tragic that would be. That's how we felt when Bo Nix went down. Seeing Bo Nix go, we didn't see him go down, but we didn't see him come back from injury, and that's because his kryptonite got him, which was injury. I don't think that kryptonite's getting him this year. I think he's going to be fully healthy. Even if he's not fully healthy, it's going to be more minor, kind of like how with his back end issue that he played through. Anyone knows that Bo had a back issue that he ended up playing through. But yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thank you guys for popping in and watching. This is a 2-hour show. We're creeping up on 2 hours, but I'll probably go a little longer as long as you guys are still in here, still asking a few questions. I'll go a little longer. Just to we are Still Up Sports, so I'll gladly stay up. Yeah, so if you have any comments or questions, I would say get them in right now. This would be a good time to get your comments, questions in. I did the first hour of the show. We kind of just talked about, Goonsville. We talked about going to our first pro soccer game, which was pretty cool. This has been a big thing for me. This off season is when I haven't been doing things on the weekend. I've been trying to go to just sports in general. It's called Still Up Sports for a reason, and I was never like a big like baseball fan or a big soccer fan, and I've been to my first professional or semi-pro baseball game. I've been to my first pro soccer game. I've been to my first pro arena football game. We got UNLV athletics coming up. I'm thinking about getting a ticket for UNLV versus Memphis. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Either that or maybe I think UNLV versus Reno would be great because the Battle of Nevada, that'd be a good one. Um, SeatGeek and Ticketmaster. If you check these things, especially in the creeping up towards these events, you can sometimes find some good tickets, and that's how I got my ticket to the soccer game. I got a really impressive ticket with some great perks for cheaper than for about $30 less than what that ticket goes for. So it was a great deal. But yeah, guys, much love to Goonsville again. Always rocking with us. We're gonna get Petros on the show because Goonsville and Petros, big Broncos fan, big Colorado sports fan, and I would love because Petros played corner. And I would love to talk corner with Petros, just get into cornerback play, talk Riley Moss, talk Jaquan McMillan with him. I would love to talk cornerback with Petros when we get him on here. But yeah, guys, so, as we get closer and closer to wrapping this up, I'm going to come back and just address this Bo Nix thing. I do think Jaylen Waddle opens up this offense a lot for him. I think that not just for him, but for these other guys on offense. And then I think Davis Webb allows there a possibility for this to be a more efficient, capable, get more out of, it's like just treat this like treat this offense like a piece of fruit, and you're trying to turn it into juice. I think Davis is going to have a little more squeeze out of this offense than Sean had in terms of getting more out of it. And guys like Jaylen Waddle and having these wide receivers take steps up, like Pat Bryant, like Troy Franklin, having them take steps up, maybe even the tight ends taking a step up, having these guys take steps up and actually catch these balls, get more productive, maybe run after the catch more. You want these steps up all across the board. But I think there's a lot benefiting Bo from this new offensive coordinator change and these tweaks. Not a giant offensive install, just some tweaks that they added to the offense. My guess is it's going to look faster, less substitutions, and then when they do sub, they're going to be good subs. I think you have the wide receivers, man. You can gas other teams' DBs, all game. Come, especially in Mile High, take advantage of that, guys. Yeah, I think Bo Nix is Superman just because he is the leader of this team. And this is why, in our player or personnel deep dive leading up to the season, we've been focused on the fact that, everyone, like we talked about it earlier, everyone is talking Bo Nix. Everyone has talked about Bo Nix this week. And there's two big topics, Bo and then, Waddle. Those are the ones we want to see. Besides that, maybe you got a few other topics. Now the edge and Jonathan Cooper, there's the whole, in JFM spot. Everyone wants to talk about Jonah Coleman, but the two big things we all can't deny is we want to see Bo Nix and we want to see him. We're excited for Bo, but then we're also excited to see Waddle. But I think between everything that's benefiting Bo from coming back more with this competitive mindset, coming back healthier, coming back with an edge, he's gonna play with his head on fire, man. This man's gonna play with an edge, and not to mention the fact that he just got a very, very talented, capable wide receiver. Waddle went for like 900 something yards last year. I guarantee he goes for 12, 13 with Bo. And I think Court goes for easily 1,000 as well. I think you have 3,000 yard, I mean, three 1,000 yard players totaled with just with, just with the court, just with Waddle and with RJ Harvey as a multi-purpose. He's 1,000 yards as a multi-purpose, player. I don't think you get 1,000 out of the tight ends, but if you can get seven something, if you get seven something out of the tight ends, that would be great. Out of Ingram specifically, that would be great. All right, guys, we're getting ready to head out of here. Thank you so much for showing up. This was episode 15 of Still Up Sports. This weekend, we got some great plans. We're going to be focused on covering the final day of the SAC Summit as well as International Fight Week, because we do cover other sports. We cover everything. The Broncos are our bread and butter and get all of our time. But it's the off season, and we're going to kill some time. On the weekend, we will do a watch along to the UFC fight. So here in the house, I'll have it up on the TV, and we'll react to it then. But yeah, guys, do me a favor. Go check us out on YouTube. 104 subs. Let's get to 105. If you can do me the amazing honor of being the 105th sub, it would mean the world to me. We're trying to reach 500 before, or at least during the season, because I've already done 2 24-hour shows. Thank you, Martin. I appreciate you. Definitely pop in, man. You had some great questions. I love your questions. I love having these kinds of questions and having you guys engage, because then I get to get a feel for how the fans are feeling. I'm working my way from casual to professional with this. I'm only a few months in, so give it 2-3 years and we'll see how professional I can be by then. But the questions, guys, it helps me gauge how you guys feel, and it helps this stuff keep going. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, Martin. Mile high salute to you. Round of applause to Martin. Round of applause to Denver is a city of champions. Round of applause to my mother for popping in. You guys killed it. Thank you so much. We've done 2 24-hour streams already. So we have already made ourselves known as, the Still Up Sports channel. We are still up. We've done 24-hour streams. We've done 6-hour streams. We've done some long ones. If I wanted to, I could make this go for another 2-3 hours of just whatever, but I didn't script like that, guys. I scripted literally a weekend recap of the 4th of July, a discussion of this upcoming weekend, and then at least an hour of Bo Nix discussion. So that's what we're doing. We'll get off in about 2-3 minutes. But yeah, go check us out on YouTube, guys. We're at 104. Go be 105. You could be such a legend if you do. With these 24-hour streams, whenever we do hit 500 and then we reach our marks and our goals so YouTube can monetize us, those 24-hour streams in the future, any of them are going to all be for charity. Not one dime in those 24-hour streams when we do get monetized is going to be for me. That's going to go towards charity, probably towards an animal shelter or animal rescue, or probably the homeless shelter here. Those are what I would probably put the money to. Besides that, monetization helps because in the future, normal streams or just like memberships, or in the future when I start a Patreon, stuff like that, that'll help me with the channel and growing, because I work part-time. I stepped down from my job as a manager last year because I wanted more from myself and just in the world, and I wasn't sure what that was. And then in December, I thought of the idea of late night sports talk. And then, this last about a month or 2 ago, I stepped down from full-time to part-time because I wanted to put more time into this. But going from full-time to part-time means more time for the channel, but less money for the channel. So this is why, eventually getting monetized helps, because super chats or, $2 memberships for the channel, or, stuff like that, or Patreon, stuff like that eventually will help me be able to put money into the channel and stuff like that, whether it's creating content or, buying stuff for the studio, upgrading our StreamYard membership so we can do a second camera view, as I want a second camera view. We have this view, which we can change. Of course, we can move the camera, but then I would want a second camera all the way up in the corner of the ceiling. So that way, when we have guests on the other side, of the studio, which this is my room, but on the other side, we'll be watching sports here and in over there. So even if I have guests here in the studio with me, I'll have other people right there. They can all be, you can see from a bigger view too. I want to have a second camera view at one point, but that's a StreamYard membership that would need an upgrade. And currently, I'm just trying to pay my bills, save up for my Denver trip, and fund this channel, the best I can still. So, eventually monetization is going to be big, because then those 24-hour streams, any stream 24 hours and up is going to all be charity. Before anything less than that will probably be stuff that unless I do anything less for charity, anything less should normally be like stuff that we're trying to use so we can hopefully upgrade our camera or upgrade our equipment, or anything that I might need, whether it's with software or whatever. I need to learn how to do thumbnails, guys, and stuff like that too. But yeah, so if you're watching, we're on YouTube, 104, go be 105. We're on X, so if you have X, guys, go check out X. We're sitting at 107. Go check out X. If you have Instagram, we're going to do private streams just for Instagram in the future. The Instagram crowd is going to get their own streams every once in a while. Maybe once a month or so, we'll do just Instagram streams. Besides that, guys, TikTok, 27 followers. TikTok's going to be getting these streams soon as well. So right now we're streaming on YouTube and X. The next stream will be on YouTube, X, and TikTok all at the same time. So feel free to pop in and subscribe. Go follow on TikTok. It really helps. And again, much love to Goonsville. You guys see me rocking it right now. Nothing but love to Goonsville and all that they're doing. Goonsville's awesome. Petros hooked it up, really took care of me. And he knows that I love the Goonsville, but I can't wear hoodies here in Vegas. Here in the desert, guys, I ain't wearing a hoodie in 100 degrees. So I needed t-shirts, and the man really took care of me. So I appreciate Goonsville. And this weekend, we're going to maybe film something for him, really take care of him. But thank you guys for showing up and supporting. Still Up Sports means a lot to me. Normalizing late night sports talk means the world to me. And we're just doing this one day at a time, one stream at a time, one sub at a time, one follower at a time, everything at a time, one little thing at a time. And every bit of growth is going to turn into something much bigger than we even can think, guys. It may be small now, but it may not be small in the future. So if you're here now, thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for helping me and supporting something that I'm passionate about, and that's bringing sports talk to you, the late night sports fan. These shows one day will be 4 hours long. For now, we're cutting it at 2 hours and 8 minutes. But thank you, guys. I'm going to try to get some guests and wrangle a guest on for our next show, which will probably be on Thursday. Normally we go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but with the off season, these schedules are always subject to change. I think we'll do our next stream on Thursday this week at probably 1:30 a.m. Mountain Time. So feel free to pop in when you can, guys. Thank you so much to everyone that showed up again. Martin. Denver is Denver is a city of champions, and then to my mother, thank you so much. Everyone showing up and supporting it means the world to me. Go like, subscribe, comment, and thank you for being still up with me, guys. You guys rock. Thank you.